Shabbosai, stay tuned. There's a Gavaldiga podcast. Rabbi Steve Geller does a Gavaldiga Zach, and that'll be coming out this week. Torah Giants on Chumash. Shalom Uvrach, and welcome to the weekly piece on the Parsha from Torah Giants on Chumash, written by Rabbi Yissachar, Mayor Goodman, the Rabbi Emeritus of Young Israel Rockaway. Sit back and enjoy.
Welcome to Torah Giants on Chumash. I'm Steve Geller. Once again, Rabbi Goodman is going to bring us a profound and beautiful lesson, this time from one of the smallest and most unassuming passukim in the Torah. This week in our Parsha, Yissachar, Zevulun, and Binyamin. These three names are in fact the complete pasuk, and it raises a famous question. Why place two sons of Leah in one pasuk with a son of Rachel? Rabbi Goodman brings us a spectacular insight by Rav Yochanan Zweig. If one were to argue that the Torah wanted to place the children of Leah and Rachel in separate lists, and Zilpah and Bilhah's children together, verse 2 and 3 could have been combined into one pasuk, just as verse 4 put the children of two mothers together. Placing Yissachar and Zevulun with Binyamin hints at something larger. In Parsha Vayetze, after the birth of Leah's first four sons, the Torah emphatically states, V'ta'amod miledes, she stopped bearing children. This should be taken to mean that this was indeed the goal of God's plan. Leah and Rachel would have had 4 and 4 each, while Bilhah and Zilpah would have had 2 and 2 each. And notice the 2-to-1 ratio had that been the case. So what prevented this logical and symmetrical plan to play out? At this crucial moment, Leah had her 4 sons, and the Torah said she stopped giving birth. Rachel's lack of faith in Hashem led her to barter her night with Yaakov for some mandrake roots, presuming that they, not prayer to God, held the power to give her children. So at that unfortunate pivotal moment, the plan changed, and Leah continued to bear sons again, Yissachar and Zevulun, who should have been Rachel's. Now let's review all these things in their 4 major parts. Leah gives birth to Reuven, Shimon, Levi, and Yehuda over 4 consecutive passukim. Then the Torah emphatically states Leah stopped having children. Next, Rachel tries to become elevated through her maid Bilhah, giving Bilhah to Yaakov to have children with. Bilhah delivers Dan and Naphtali. Leah sees this and sees that she stopped having children, so she attempted to become elevated by giving her maid Zilpah to Yaakov to have children as well. Zilpah bore Gad and Asher. Next is where Rachel makes the mistake with the mandrakes, trading Leah's mandrakes for Rachel's turn with Yaakov. Yaakov sleeps with Leah instead, and it's Leah that gives birth to Yissachar and Zevulun. According to Rav Zweig, those should have been Rachel's children. Finally, the last part of the story of the birth of the 12 tribes is Rachel giving birth to Yosef and later Binyamin. Rav Zweig asserts that had Rachel had the faith that Hashem would not forget her and had not traded her time with Yaakov for mandrakes, then Leah would have had her 4 sons, then as the Torah said, stop bearing children. Rachel would have had Yissachar and Zevulun along with Yosef and Binyamin, equaling Leah's 4 sons. Bilhah and Zilpah would have had 2 sons each. A powerful confirmation of this astonishing proposal can be seen in the count of the 70 souls enumerated in Parshas Vayigash. Remember that 2-to-1 ratio from before? Leah has 32 male descendants, and Zilpah, her maid, exactly half, 16. Rachel has 14 male descendants, and Bilhah, her maid, again exactly half, 7. But had Yissachar and Zevulun been born to Rachel, their total of 9 would have been added to Rachel and subtracted from Leah, giving each exactly the same 23 descendants with a total of 46, still twice the 23 combined descendants of their maids. This may indeed be the hint of our pasuk, placing Yissachar and Zevulun with Binyamin in one united verse to show that they might have indeed been maternal brothers had Rachel had greater faith and prayed with the fervor we later find in Tanakh with Chana, mother of our great prophet Shmuel. It's just amazing how this whole complex, beautiful explanation can come from the most unassuming 3-word pasuk. It's just beautiful.
But there is one more little thing.
Next, Rabbi Goodman shows us how this brilliant piece by Rav Yochanan Zweig fits perfectly with another amazing analysis from Rav Moshe Shapiro ZTL. When Yitzchak was planning to give a major bracha to Esav, commentators explain that Yitzchak envisioned Yaakov and Esav would form the Jewish nation together. The voice of Yaakov would be the scholar focused on teaching and keeping the Torah and its philosophy, while the hands of Esav, the man of the field, would provide Yaakov, the scholars, with their physical and material needs. That's why the bracha Yaakov took from Esav was entirely physical. Yaakov's very spiritual bracha comes at the end of that sidra. In effect, Yaakov received both brachas. So now let's remember the well-known Midrash Rabbah that informs us that Leah's poor eyes were caused by her weeping. People say Leah was destined for Esav and Rachel was meant for Yaakov. Indeed, had Esav lived up to his potential, this would have happened and he would have been a well-functioning member of our holy people. Leah still wept because she wanted to marry the scholar. So now a new partnership had to replace this failed one between Yaakov and Esav, and that would turn out to be Yissachar and Zevulun. Because it's crucial for Bnei Israel to have a model of dedicated scholars supported by generous business leaders. Since Yaakov intended to marry Rachel and not Leah, Rachel should have been Yissachar and Zvulun's mother, just as Rav Zweig suggested. But the barren Rachel abandoned her prayers to God for a child and instead sought the mandrakes of Ruvain. Leah then went on to bring Yissachar and Zevulun into the world instead of Rachel. Just a beautiful picture painted by Rabbi Goodman, which brings us things we thought we understood, but into a much sharper focus. And do you know what else is clear? That you should like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and most important, hit the share button to paste the link to this video into emails, Facebook, texts, WhatsApp groups, or your social media of choice. They'll all be as amazed as you, and we will all help fulfill the mitzvah of Talmud Torah, helping realize the potential of Rabbi Goodman's life's work, Torah Giants on Chumash.